Hey guys, welcome to part 7 of my reference playlist. Once again, this item is something I need for my next project, so I'm separating it out into an academy video where I can go into more detail. So with that said, let's get right into it. Today I'll be using some small flat back cabochons, some jump rings and some UV resin for these. You have the option of painting them too, but that's completely optional. Also, if you don't have jump rings to hand, this can work well with some fine chain as well. Everything I use will be listed in the description box below for reference. The cabochons I'm using are actually part of a set and come pre-glued with adhesive on the back. This isn't particularly strong glue, and if you tried sticking it to most things, it just won't hold at all. But in fairness, they are originally meant for paper craft, so I won't hold that against them. Anyway, I'm co-opting them for a completely different purpose than they were originally intended, so I digress. In this case, I will remove that glue on the back of the cabochons and lightly sand them to create a rough surface to give the resin something to hold on to, essentially. You will want 2 cabochons and some jump rings or chain per earring, so this will make 1 earring. You can of course change the number of jump rings to create an even more dangly piece. As you can see, sanding them is somewhat frustrating, but you know, just be persistent and don't use tweezers. Don't be me. That was clearly not going to work. Just use your hands and be patient. Incidentally, you don't want to be too rough when you are sanding these, because obviously you risk sanding off the reflective surface, and that's what gives these gems the sparkle. So yeah, just be gentle with them. They just barely need to be grazed. You can of course use a nail file if you have one, or an emery board. That also works, but please be gentle. With the cabochons sanded and ready to go, I've selected the size of jump rings that I want, and we're on to a trickier bit here now. We'll be using 1 jump ring as a bail, and the other will be used to actually attach it onto the amigurumi. The opportunities for customization are quite varied, and it's basically down to your creativity and what look you are going for at this point. We're now going to use a tiny amount of UV resin to glue the jump ring onto the back of one of the cabochons. You want the jump ring to be half on the cabochon and half off. This is what's going to be the bail. The tiny space between that connection is what will be used to connect the second jump ring, so you really need to make sure it's sized correctly for your second jump ring. Anyway, go ahead and cure this in the lamp, and after a few minutes add a touch more resin and place the second cabochon on top. Then it's a final cure to join both pieces together. When both pieces are together, here you can just see me adding just a touch more UV resin with a toothpick, just to make sure that it's nice and sealed. With that piece finished, make a second one following the same steps. Then use a smaller jump ring on each as a connecting point to make it slightly longer. This is another part where you can play around and add your own ideas. And of course, if you want it to be even longer, then you can use some chain instead. Alternatively, you don't have to use the connecting jump ring at all, and just go straight in with the final jump ring and attach it to the amigurumi to make a short set of earrings, or possibly even studs. So with that, the earrings are essentially finished. At this point, you could add some gold, silver or rose gold paint to outline the sides of the cabochons. If you have the patience of a saint, of course, but I think this part is entirely optional. I mean, I chose not to do it here, but I can see other places where that could actually be a nice touch. Here I made another pair of earrings by simply adding 2 jump rings sandwiched between the cabochons so that I have a bail at the top and the bottom. I then added another cabochon that I made at the bottom for some extra sparkle and extra dangliness. So do you see what I mean by how you can customize? You can literally make these in any way you want and customize to your heart's content with all the colors and all the gems. Give it a try, let me know how it goes. So to wrap up, these little earrings are tiny, cute, and can add so much character to your amigurumi. So do have a go and see what you come up with. As always, if you'd like to see more content like this, then please like, share, comment, and even consider subscribing. If you are feeling extra generous, then also please consider buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. The link to my Ko-fi page will be included in the description box below, and any and all donations will be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that, enjoy the beauty shots, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!